Hello, good afternoon, everybody. We, Mel and Tony, under the tree again in little Nassau, Bahamas, and we enjoying this beautiful sunshine. Sorry, we're not outside again, but we inside. What's most important that we here live and looking for a beautiful day. Melanie on a memory and blah blah blah, whatever she doing. But that's Melanie, folks. So we're gonna have a good show. We're gonna talk about what, Melanie, again?
Behaviors in relationship and marriage.
Behaviors in relationship and marriage. Well, I can tell you, when I was married, I used to behave good. So good that the woman divorced me. That's how good I was. Because they say in the old saying, good man, finish last. And
Oh,
so that's how it works in the world, right?
well,
Uh,
they say good people finish last, and I mean a good woman finish last as well.
you think so?
I don't know.
I
You
think
tell
this.
me.
I think this world is designed
Four.
for good women.
Okay.
And where this world is designed for good women, men get the last end of the stick. How that sound? Anyhow, let me be careful what I say today because I know today is going to be some groundbreaking and revelation on the behavior of relationship and behavior of marriage. And we can talk a little about of um, boyfriend and girlfriend relationship generally. Um, Two woman, two man, just relationship, right? Just relationship, because relationship,
Okay.
because we always, when we discuss things, we always leave out the other side. We call it the
Which other side?
the lesbian and the homosexual and this. We now consider them they're not people, and so we don't discuss.
Who's the we you're talking
Well,
about?
when people talk about relationship today, they talk about man and woman.
Not today. Today, when they talk about relationship, they talk about
Declare.
the whole
Yeah.
myriad of
Yeah, but
relationships
everything is catered to,
within the minds of some people.
yeah,
But
because it in some minds of some people, a woman and a woman or a man and a man is not a relationship. They're messing around. That's what the word they say. They're messing around. So I I hear today to come to tell you we're going to talk about whole total relationship,
okay.
and so we're going to go into mom, pop, daddy, grandma, great grandma,
Mm-hmm.
boyfriend, girlfriend, and even the ones that relationship where shouldn't be, like a 15-year-old dating a 30-year-old. So we're going to take the whole gamut. All right. And so,
Audrey is off with us from the starting gate.
Audrey,
Hi, Audrey.
hey, hi, Audrey.
Audrey.
Hi, how you been? Everything is well? Well, you got an interesting show today. Okay. Well, you see, you ever hear the story of people being saved? That's why some most relationship marriages and have problems in relationships because they ain't saved. And when we talking about save, let me explain save. See, we're not talking about save. You becoming a Christian and go to church and pray and come back and let. We're not talking about that kind of save.
Okay,
We're
what are you
talking about
talking about?
we're talking about save because we do save. I got saved my mother's style of saved by the blood.
Tony, did we not agree last week that
Hold
we
on,
can go
hold
down
on,
this
hold on,
Christian path?
hold on. No. I gotta start here because being safe and bad behavior is almost the same thing because most times people bad behave because they have no direction.
Tony, if I may beg to differ early in the
Go ahead.
discussion, I just came off the phone with a friend having this very discussion
Mm-hmm.
how people
Mm-hmm.
bear the
Mm-hmm.
label
Mm-hmm.
of Christian, but they are not Christ like in any form or fashion, but they speaking in tongues, they ridiculing and judging other people, but they don't see that they themselves lack the very essence of what Christ came to teach, which is love
Yeah.
for fellow man.
But it's the same thing I talk about bad behavior. And if you follow me, it's the same road I going on. Because if you don't get the blood out of you, remember I say saved by the blood. See, the Bible speaks about enrich. See, you check this out. To be to be saved and to be Christ-like, you have to clean the blood.
Clean your personal blood.
Yeah, you have to clean
So
the blood.
what cleans your personal blood?
Well, you have to be born again.
And how does that happen?
I can tell you, and you I go again, and you have to be delivered
From
from, yeah, and you have to go back where you come from.
where? To back, like Nicodemus say, back into your mother's womb?
Yeah, you got to go back. See, a lot of people miss this. Watch this conversation. Where I going? A lot of people miss to go ahead. You must go back to the root to go ahead.
Okay, you definitely have to go back to basics.
There you go. Now, stop right there. Go back to basic. That's where I want you to carry me.
Mm-hmm.
And going back to basic, it is simply why relationship don't succeed.
Okay.
They don't go back to basic. Go back to the principle: kindness, lovingness, righteousness, faithful, the whole
9 yards.
yeah. And so what has happened in relationship? Me and you might get married,
Mm-hmm.
but I ain't changed. I just step. I just get the ring on my finger.
So
Uh-huh.
why do I have to change in order to get married?
You have to change to get married because the we ain't going to the biblical. Let me leave that because I was gonna say something.
No, because what I'm thinking
You
is
become new.
No, but
You become
I am
renewed.
thinking.
You become one. That's how it's supposed to be.
Let's go. See,
Go ahead.
I feeling
Yeah.
like the devil's advocate
Go ahead.
today
Feel the devil.
because bouncing back of last week's discussion,
Mhm.
you said a good person can only go one way. You can't get no better. So here it is. I am already a good person and I'm getting married. So you want me to change to what?
No, what I want you to do is now, because you're making this step, take the biblical out of it. Because you're making this step of marriage, you should become a new person.
How? Why?
Because now you not taking care of you. It's two of you now.
Okay.
So your attitude, your mindset has to change.
Okay.
So you have to take on this woman.
Mm-hmm.
So
and the woman take on the man. Don't
right,
forget that.
yeah, oh, both way. But then it don't become I no more.
It's we.
That's the problem. There's too much marriages say I.
They don't change.
They don't change. They don't go back and become. See, some of the bad habits you got to drop. Let me give you one. Let me talk about it because we're going. I just use that to set the base.
The thing about it is that change is a journey that takes place from the moment or even before you officially extend the invitation for that woman to be your lifetime partner.
Yeah, because when I ask you, would you
in
mind?
your mind, you already weak.
Yeah, but when watch this now. Follow me in. When I asked you, would you marry me? Your answer yes to me means that yes, I love you. Yes, I'm willing to give up some of the things I do because I got to compromise. From the beginning, that's compromising. The minute you said yes, that's compromising. If you're not willing to compromise, then you at fault. This relationship ain't gonna work.
I have come to the point where I don't understand the idea of giving up and compromising.
Wait a minute. What do you mean giving up and
Yeah.
compromise? Explain that.
Why should I have to give up anything that's me? And
Th-
what is the need to compromise?
This is a journey.
I could
It's a
understand
journey,
that
right?
we have an agreement.
It's a journey. It's
Yes.
a journey. One of the things in the journey is that, and I hit it straight ahead. You gotta open up your leg. That's one of the journey, right? So that's one of the things. So that means you have to give that up.
But that's a given
No,
in marriage.
it's not a given. That's most marriages break up because of that.
But that's because
Okay.
people withhold themselves. But when two people become one, I become yours, you become mine. So I don't, if we go biblical,
Mhm.
I don't have the right to deny you my body as
Right.
your wife.
But in relationship, majority of people, when they married, they hold on. This my house, this my child, this my this and this is my body. This my
That's
that.
not that's not a unity.
But hold
That
on.
what happened is literally that's two people just cohabitating.
Yeah, but most times, in woman case, let's talk about women.
Mhm.
Most time, she's still gonna hold back because she see where you can take me. You know you go. You know y'all
Why
go.
you like to go on the woman though? You listen. Let me
I'm not
speak
going
for
to
the woman.
Okay.
You talk for
Okay.
the man. Talk about
Okay.
a man.
I said how a woman operate. You should say how a man operate. But see, a woman.
I can't
hold
think
on.
like a man.
You could talk about a man. Because I never date a man, so I could talk about a woman. So what I say, a woman hold her self because she will see what you do and where you can take me. See, a man gonna take you
But
somewhere.
you see, that's the wrong premise right there to start a relationship.
But that's what they do.
That's the wrong premise.
And they say, I cannot come into this blind. This they tell you, oh, I can't come in this blind. But let's say
that's because we are grounded in negativity, grounded in mistrust, and we do not give ourselves wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
When you come into a relationship, I could see as you learn the person, you may hold back for a period of time until you know some reasonable things about that individual. But to walk into a marriage holding back, something is wrong.
But the relationship, it's going to be beautiful when we hit the balance button. Most people don't hit the balance button.
No, because they gave up too soon.
Yeah. And not only that, when me and you dating, let's talk about a relationship dating. Me and you dating, we decided to go, you go out one night. Let's say you meet some friends in the road, and you decided to go. And you call me and say, well, I meet so and so, and I'll be at so and so point. But apparently, you call me 2 o'clock in the morning. I sleeping now. You call me and say, oh, I on my way home now. See, here's a difficulty in that. If me and you have a relationship, certain amount of time is the time to really realize that I must go home because I share myself with somebody, my space with somebody. See, because what has happened, men will do things like that and expect a woman to sit there and wait on them. My man. Right. But here's what happened. That started early in the marriage. So a man think, man, my girl accept that. So watch where I go in this. Follow me. And so this happened for 6 months, a year. And the woman started to become alone. Like she felt like, oh, I hear I only do this by myself every Friday night, every night he going. But so the devil started to step in and not work on me, work on my mind, on her mind. Once the devil started to work on her mind started drifting. So what the first thing she comes up with is that why he out there.
Mm-hmm.
But a woman, now watch where I go, this is cosplaying trouble now. A woman never say he out there and he shouldn't be out there. You know what they say? What I do to get him out there. Why he out there? I ain't good enough. I can't make, I gotta put more on. I gotta do something else. And so the woman started to in the house and everything she's trying to get his attention. I would say to the woman out there today, when you start second guessing yourself, you're in trouble, your relationship in trouble. Because there should be, you should never second guess yourself, man or woman. Never say, because if somebody wants to be with you, they will be with you. And if somebody likes being with you, they'll always be with you. They find a way to make it work. And so, most cases, why are you looking at me like that? Now you studying me? You don't think I right? All right. So, and so, in a relationship, most times trouble starts when two people go in the relationship for the wrong reason. That's your words. You like that kind of thing, eh? Yeah, wrong reason. And 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 the wrong reason don't have to be all the time they're not loving one another, you know. The wrong reasons could be because their heart is not in the right place. See, most people are mean. I go back to your thing, your friend earlier, you talk about, let's go right there. The problem we have with Christians is that they're not forgiven, not lovely. Let me explain something, and I coming back to your thing. When you see a Christian woman or a Christian man on a job site,
Mm-hmm.
and you see them in church. In the church, they are very nice, very loving,
Mm-hmm.
very hi, honey. Oh, I see hugging and kissing. On the job, you better get your backside. See, this is what happened to Christian people majority of time. Christian people only Christian in the church.
Some.
Majority,
Okay.
majority. Real Christians are real religious people. Why you fix your face?
Explain that. Real Christians are real religious. What does that mean?
I don't get you. I don't get you. They believe in the religion, just like I say. As an Anglican, as a Catholic, as a real Christians. That's the far as it go. They believe in their religion. They don't believe in they don't believe in Jesus Christ. They believe
Oh.
that you understand. They believe in their religion. As a Baptist and Catholic, and so the fight continues.
So let's take this now
Mhm.
into the relationship arena.
Mhm. How how a Baptist can marry a Catholic and make it if they have religious fight going on.
Well,
That's why I bring this up.
some
Go ahead.
people are of different
Nominations.
Christian
Mm.
denomination
Mm.
and they get along very well.
They no, they don't get it.
Yes, they
No,
do.
no, what they
I
do,
say some people do.
yeah, what they do, what most of them do is accept. There
They
you are.
they they make sensible people communicate and they come to agreement.
Mhm.
I know of couples who, before they get married, they're of different denominations and they agree, okay, we will go to your church twice a month and we'll go to my church twice a month.
But you don't say that's chaos?
That's not chaos.
You don't think the fact that how two,
unless
what
you
about
are
how two
in,
could walk and
they are in agreement. They believe in the same God.
so how you bring up your children?
They until a child gets the age of accountability, if we are going to worship together as a family from week to week, we just go to different churches.
Confusion.
That's not confusion.
Let me ask you a question.
That's not confusion.
Let me ask you a question. First of all, the Bible tells you don't be unequally yoked, right?
That's not unequally yoked. They both believe in God. They both are Christians.
Okay.
In their religious beliefs.
Okay. So
the only difference between a Baptist and a Pentecostal is maybe some say you don't wear jewelry, some say you don't wear pants. But other than that, they still believe the same fundamental thing. Everybody do the Lord's Supper. Everybody believe in the crucifixion and Good Friday and Christmas and all that other good stuff that come in between.
And so we talking, what God we talking about? Some of them believe
the same one God of the universe.
Not what was it? How you spell that?
Abraham?
No.
Abba?
Not that one, right?
Abba Father?
Yeah.
It depends on what you call him. People call God by different names.
Yeah.
But
the ones who
same one God.
The ones who believe in God don't believe in Abba, because that's a totally different.
That's not true.
I mean, because that two of us can't walk together, because there got to be some confusion.
There is no confusion.
There got to be some.
There has to be something called respect.
The Bible said what?
Of differences.
Okay.
That's not unequally.
Let's leave the Bible. Let's talk about relationship.
That's why I keep saying.
Yeah, because you have a. Hold on. See, I can around now. See, I can around.
Yes, go ahead.
See, religious and Christianity. See, it's two different. They're the same, you know.
No, Christianity, religion is all the different beliefs. And Christianity is a religion.
Right. And so, let's don't get confused. Let's get it right. So, me and you fight on religion.
No, because let me tell you why we shouldn't. Mm-hmm. Because there is no, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, there is no right, there is no wrong. Each of us have to stand before the great white throne, should that day come, mm-hmm. and give account for what we as an individual, not as a family, mm-hmm. not as a couple.
You know anybody being there?
No.
You know anybody been
exactly. Okay. That's why I say should there be, because we are going on the scripts that were written by humans just like ourselves.
Expired men, they call them.
Some
but they were human.
Say were inspired, but there are other writings that correspond with what the Bible, and there are writings that have what the Bible don't have.
Right.
Okay,
so
the Bible verifies itself as being the authentic word of God, but there are other persons who witnessed the life of Christ and give an account of it. Okay,
I don't
but
know.
We need to stop being closed-minded, judgmental, and accept individuals, because I don't have no heaven nor no hell to put anybody in, so I can't judge them.
Mm-hmm. Right.
The Bible itself tells you don't judge a man.
Right.
Okay?
You'll be judged on that day.
You'll be judged even here now. Because just how you judging someone else judging you.
Yeah, but Christians aren't supposed to judge.
Nobody is supposed to judge, Christian or otherwise.
And in relationship, that's what we do. We judge the other party.
Yeah.
And that is where causing a lot of problem. Not just Christianity. We're talking about relationship today.
Mm-hmm.
And relationship, if you don't build your relationships strong at the beginning,
mm-hmm.
the foundation has to be. One time ago, we say, I build my relationship from my parents' foundation.
Mm-hmm.
That is wrong. You should build your relationship on your foundation. See, because my parents...
So you use your parents' relationship as a point of reference.
Right. But because your relationship and my parents' relationship, totally different.
We're in two different eras.
And that
Not only that, right?
And that is what causes relationship, because the mother comes in the home
Mm-hmm.
and she set her guidelines in this new relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Child, well, let me help you. Um, don't cook with mustard. Don't cook with sugar. Don't cook with this. Don't cook with that. That's an issue that where relationship have a big problem where their mothers, both sides. I'm not talking about when mothers come in and they get into the relationship and they want to bring their husband like into the relationship. What I do for my husband, I cook this way, I bake this
But
way,
not only that, even if the mother don't come,
she
the
tries.
point of reference that the wife have is that which she was raised in.
But
But
most smart women will change, will tweak it along the way.
tweak it and
And
also find out
find our
what the
own,
partner
yeah,
likes.
because relationship is so many things go wrong in relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you find in relationship, I believe most individuals don't be open enough to each other.
Well, listen, if we was to backtrack right on what we just finished talking about,
Mm-hmm.
that is why there is so much problem, because we're not open about anything. It's my way or the highway.
And we
Right? It's the way my family, your family was handed down some traditions. It's like so many little minor things, right? That we take from our parents, or we take from our friends, or we take from television, and we believe that what we know is all there is to be known, or what our friends know is all there is to be known. Take, for instance, you mentioned earlier about a couple where the wife was out and she bumped into some friends. Who knows whatever time it is, but 2 a.m. in the morning is when she's just going. Now, that requires some kind of understanding. For some partners, that's not a problem because they know the type of person they're with, and they know who it is that she's going out with and all of that kind of stuff. So, what Joe and Susie do over there, you can't expect to be able to do that
see,
over here in your relationship.
But see, going back to that relationship I was talking about,
Mm-hmm.
going out, it don't matter what relationship it is. Even if I allow you and I know you do this, that's going to break down the fiber of the relationship.
Not necessarily.
Now you say it's not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
Let me explain a relationship. If you're going to marry me in a any relationship, you should take me to share your most intimate quality time with me.
But Tony, that's a one-off situation. You're not talking about a habitual experience. The example you gave, I interpret that as being a nugget in a given day.
Yeah.
There's people who she bump into, who she hasn't seen for a long time,
see,
so forth and
I
so
say
on.
it that way because it starts small and it grows.
Yeah.
See, because if I don't say to you nothing.
But if I call you and you don't want me to go, and you say, honey, I don't think so.
What world you live in? You come to this old school thing. What world you live in?
But you, so if you tell me it's okay,
hold on.
If you tell me it's okay, I could go with my friends.
If I tell you I don't want you to go, what you can tell me?
I may try and persuade you and say, I'm not going to be long.
See, old school is that's what you do. This new school thing.
No, man, you're trying to make these young people look irreverent, inconsiderable, and selfish.
They are. That's why they're killing one another.
Selfish. Nah, that's a different cluster.
No, that's why they're selfish.
That's a different cluster.
Same
of people
thing.
Again.
They're selfish. It's all about them.
But anyhow.
See, we have, okay, let's go back to what I begin with. Kindness, righteousness, nice. See, all these things in a relationship, these are lost.
So why are they lost?
They're lost because the mindset today is all about me.
But we create that.
It didn't matter. But
It matters because
because if
how did we become? You see, you like to talk about old school. That's the old school thought. Why are you trying to impose the old school thought on the young people?
because he back.
Either it's a value system that keeps the society as one unit, or it is something where it divides society. So the principle, what I'm saying to you is that I can't I don't like the concept that all young people think and behave that way.
No. I didn't say that. Majority of men, majority of young men has a way about them that they come in as Prince Charming, God gift to the world, and woman must take care of them. And the woman must be the one. Oh, I sit in here playing them. Go get my food. I hang on my board. Go clean. Go
That's
keep the
old
children.
school. That's old school.
Yeah. Sorry.
Laurel Bartlett.
Hey, my sister. That's my sister. Freeboard. Hey, Laura. Love you. That's my girl. That's my sister. Yeah. And so, what I'm saying that when the men believe that you should take care of me for me to give you my money.
And the problem with the man when it comes to the woman.
Yeah. Huh?
What the woman believe?
Woman believe for me to give my body, you must give me money.
Okay.
This is the kind of trend we set as older people. Old school, you bring the money home and I take care of you in the home.
And how has the young people changed it?
The young people is changing it every day now. What the young people is doing, boy, I checking for me. I looking out for me. They ain't checking nobody else. So if two young people married now, they will give you the impression that the garden is clean and the garden is growing. And all of a sudden, out of the blue, war breaks out.
Ain't a sudden war. It's been gradually.
Yeah, it's been good, but war breaks out. It's like people cannot, like two people can't agree no more. They do the marriage for the show because their mother wants them to have this big old wedding to show all these flowers and all that. So this big old show.
Denise Winder McPhee.
Hey Denise, that's some Freeport people, eh? Yeah. And so when you talk about, see Denise, I can talk about Denise. Denise is a good soldier. She believed Christian principle girl who believe in marriage, and she believe in sending a marriage. But people like them will always get hurt because they go all in, And I agree, when you marry somebody, you go all in. But if you don't be careful, you will get lost in a marriage and in a relationship. And you become hurt. You will be hurt. And then when you hurt, let me tell you what happened when you hurt. Let me tell you the sad part. When you hurt, then you don't even want to approach it. You sit on the sideline and all the rocks fall on top of your head. See, Bahamian woman has this thing where I don't want nobody know we breaking up. I don't want nobody in the family know we what as my private business and all this crap. Listen, this is what 2022. Them days are finished. When you fallen in the hole, you need help. You go and get help. I didn't say run to the church because 99% of the time the church will talk your business. Don't mind. The church will put your business in the street. Believe it or not. And don't go to too much smart people neither. Because smart people thinks one way.
Okay.
All right. This is real talk.
All right.
Smart people thinks one way. The way they was trained.
So that sounds like trained people, not smart
no,
people.
Smart.
Smart people.
No.
Smart people
when you're in crisis,
will examine the whole.
When you're in crisis, you go to good people. Righteous, decent,
Mm-hmm.
respectable, and you go to somebody, how could you go to a smart man who having problems with his marriage? Think about that. You go to a fella to give you advice, a pastor or somebody in the church who having problem with his wife.
Everybody have problems, even the
No, no,
smart people, even the good people.
no,
Everybody,
no, no, no,
everybody
no.
have challenges in their life at some point or the other.
Good people, follow this. Good people know when their marriage in trouble, they jump out of it gone.
Lord have mercy.
Good people, watch now. Good people see crisis coming and they try to stop it. And if they can't stop it, they say, this is not working for me because you're not going to drag me in the mud. And they jump and gone.
So they don't go and look for help.
No, they go look. I'm telling you, smart, good people go and look for help
Early.
early in the game. Smart people wait till the hell break loose, then they start going there.
So Tony,
Go ahead.
let's examine.
Good.
Given the fact that so many marriages have fallen apart. You were married before, I was married before. Many of the people that we know as Bahamians were married with good intentions. They are good people.
No, not all. See, hold on. No. Some of them are smart people.
Were you good or smart?
In my marriage?
Were you good or in general? Because guess what?
I was good.
The way you were in your marriage is the way
good.
you are consistently.
I was good.
So you are a good person.
Let me talk with me. I can talk with me. I don't mind putting me out there.
So go ahead.
So let me talk with me. And when I started to have issues,
I would like to know first and foremost, because don't tell me about when the problem started. Talk about what was before the problem started, how the problem presented, and what resulted in the dissolve.
You want my whole
life story? Because what I'm trying
it can take a million years to tell you that. So let me break it down.
All I'm really trying to say is don't just highlight the bad, because
no, I'm not gonna highlight the bad. No.
Started out.
No, I'm not gonna highlight the bad.
Did you see yourself as a divorcee? However many years from your marriage.
No.
You went in there with intent.
Right. Let me tell you why I got married. See, let me start from there. Okay. That's what I tell you. I ain't gonna tell you bad, so I can tell you straight up. I decided to get married because I was one of the dudes. When I say one of the dudes, I was a big juicer. That's how I used to call myself. Super tunes. Okay. And so when I felt that I was a big juicer enough, and I realized.
When you say a big juicy enough, meaning you had enough of that lifestyle?
Okay, let me explain that too. Jesus Lord, you want what? You want me to be able to chase it? Okay, let me explain it. Before, when I decided that I would get married, I had 2 kids out of wedlock. Okay. 2 kids out of wedlock. So I decided now, instead of me running around juicing and having these children out of wedlock, let me get married and settle down and have one woman, one wife. Okay. And when I decide to do that, that means every woman out there, what I used to play around with, that ceased, because I realized I want to make this work. And so what had happened, I started to build a home, a relationship, a whole total home. And I started to find out that my wife at that time, and you know what happens? I'm gonna go back right to this. What has happened to most people is that when people decide to settle down, that's when the next one, their partner, decide to pick up.
Okay.
It's weird. When one say, okay, now I'm gonna stop, the next one started to take off.
So what I gather from that, and this is the point I am trying to take us to, is that
who's that? I can see.
Life holds no guarantees. Number one, Number two, you are marrying a stranger, somebody that you only know superficially. You know,
No,
she's
I
from a
thought,
particular
right. I
family.
thought I
She
know
has
her.
a particular
I thought I know her very
lifestyle.
well.
She has a particular job. And
Mhm.
we have our bucket list of requirements of the people that we will call or invite
Mine
into
wasn't that
our
long. Mine
lives
wasn't that. I
to
had three short things.
share.
Three short things. I wasn't looking for all that long talk.
Well, use a man and y'all don't.
Yeah, she got to be kind of pretty.
Yeah.
She got to be a little educated,
Mm-hmm.
and then she make me laugh. That's my big. I didn't want much. I wanted simple things along the way.
And whereas the woman, she want a handsome man, a smart man, a hard worker, a conversationalist, a lover, and somebody who can make her feel secure. So you had 3 items, that's 6. I could still add more.
Yeah,
as it relates
but
to
I
what
only
women
wanted.
look for.
I only wanted 3 items.
Right.
And
So she was able to do all those things
and
for
so
you, right?
I screamed. Hold on, let me go back. I thought I screamed away, right? And so what had happened?
Because you were looking, you didn't go into the more media and weightier things that keep a marriage.
No, because
she make you laugh, but was she your friend?
The problem was that she came from a
good background.
Listen to what
solid.
No, listen to what I say.
Smart.
Smart background.
Okay.
You could wear a suit and look smart too.
And you know one thing about smart, right? Smart has some contextual meaning.
Yes.
Because smart, as in academically smart, smart as in street smart.
It's so many different smart.
Okay.
But I thought.
And smart is just a brilliant thinker.
But I thought by being smart, she had gone to this basic training that she would have known.
Because in your old school thinking,
exactly,
that's how. Oh, she come from a good family. The
that
daddy
is why
is this,
I
the
call
mother
you
is
school.
that, and she definitely got to be. You know, say look like a duck, smell like a duck, walk like a duck. It got to be a duck. But until you get close up.
And people who are listening to this, let me tell you the difficult thing for most humans. The difficult things for most humans is when our relationships start going bad. You try to figure out what caused it, like how it get here. We were this. See, and when you started to do that, you started to overthink. You started to put this in place, and then this is that. But it don't be that. See, let me tell you what it's be. Don't let me lose my train. I want the people to hear this.
Right.
It is simply one thing. It ain't no all of that. It's simply one basic thing. The person that you thought were not a good person. Simple as that. Because if you're a good person and you love me, you become my friend, and you love me, when I act up or you act up, the first thing you will say, let's talk about this. Communication. Let's talk about this. Not you go in the corner and punch him out and say, yeah, I can fix this. I can fix him. I'll fix her. See, good people remain, it's bred in their heart and their soul.
So, again, what I get from that is all that glitters is not gold.
Right.
So somebody may look a particular way because guess what? Even in judging the appearance of the parents or where they come from, you know, we like affluence in our society. We like people who live, some people judge you and say, oh, you like people that live in leaning houses. So I above that, right? But you cannot judge a book by the cover. You have to open it and you have to read. You have to read. And that's why I keep advocating every time we come on this show for what? Take time to know the person that you are with and before you marry them. And guess what? That is still no guarantee, but you have a better understanding of what your potential life with that person will be versus.
And you know, when I say good people, let me explain. Let me go simple with good people. When, see, woman, let me just phrase that. I'm a beautiful woman. What has happened in relationships, most relationship, is This is one of the key elements of trouble
Mm-hmm.
in a relationship with a with a. I should hear my mother say this: "Be careful what come out your mouth."
Mm-hmm.
I never learned that until I get older.
Mm-hmm.
Let me explain to you something. See, when you talk what your mouth is so powerful,
Mm-hmm.
and I give you example what I'm talking about. Me and you recently get along in our house. We married, we get along very well,
Mm-hmm.
and so we cooking. And you says to me, "I don't have no gas in my car,"
Mm-hmm.
and I say to you, "You ain't got no gas,"
Okay.
and because you don't have no gas, and you badly wants to go to get some egg or piece of meat to cook, and because I totally ignore you,
Mm-hmm.
and your word to me now is that I asked you for this gas money, and then I say, okay, but I go to the back door and I jump in my car and go. What happens to you as a woman? This is what most women do. They'll say, he gone and he ain't give me the money for the meat, so I ain't cooking. Which is, she mightn't have the money, but when he comes home, the first thing he can say, but you didn't cook. What has transpired in that small circle? You mightn't believe how dangerous it was, because the woman will say in her mind, she might say, but I'm not. Man, woman will say, he didn't even stop and think how important it was for me to cook the food for him to eat.
Mm-hmm.
But he expect me to go, watch the words, he expect me to go spend my money. This is how your woman go. It ain't your money now. It's our money. But he expect me to spend my money. No, I ain't doing it. So now what happened? When I come home, food's not cooked, I started to bash you.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I bash you because I feel you crazy. Because all you do is call me home and I would get it and bring it home. But that's not the issue. The issue is what I say to you next. And guess what I can say to you next?
What?
Some things that I never, when I say it, I can't take it back. It become a seed grown in your brain. Because I can say things like words, this stupid woman, watch, you better cook this food. You better go have something for me to eat. Or I could go around the corner and get something to eat. See, those words are the words cut you like, cut a woman like blood. Woman never forget them.
Mm-hmm.
And see, and once that is planted in that
Brain.
brain,
Mm-hmm.
see, because you call me stupid. That's the
But the stupidity manifested as a result of what?
because miscommunication.
Miscommunication. Miscommunication.
I can't
You
tell you.
you calling
Yeah.
you calling
You're over there
communication a
again.
miss now. It I call it neglect
Neglect.
because
Yeah, I
she
understand.
asked.
But I didn't want to say that
Okay,
to you, but
but
it's
you
true.
know what? The picture that you painted
You
tells
see how many
you
things?
the negative
You have things I messed.
grounding
You see how many things I messed up?
listed. Yes, so it
Okay.
opens. It's like casting a stone in a lake. You have a ripple effect of negativity.
There you go. There you
One
go.
thing after the next, after the
One
next,
thing you smash,
and the
you pick that up.
marriage breaks down.
Because
But
that consistently happens. And you as a woman, you are not gonna perform well in the bed because that's gonna be in your
forget the
brain.
bed.
Because I stupid.
But let's
No, you
look
can't
at
forget the bed because that's what make me happy now. Remember, you can't forget the bed because that's what makes me happy. And so, and so, what happens in relationships? We continue, we continue not to properly, what I can use, manage our relationship.
because
Go ahead.
but Denise says that those needs go deep, or those seeds go deep. Um, when men don't hear your needs,
Yes.
right?
And she, that's what's important in what I said. And that's what I was trying to get. I'm glad Denise get it. That's what I was trying to say. See, he neglect her. He walk on the, see, and when a man neglect a woman, a man has to understand that is like the hurtful part. See, a woman want to be heard. A woman, even if you ain't listening, she want to be heard. She want to know that I'm a part of this relationship. All right. A lot of times, men makes women feel that you know, shut up, go in the corner. Because I's the man, you know, you trying to hold her, yeah, go in the corner. Mm-hmm.
But you know, we also have to value ourselves and value the relationship. Sometimes the man, a lot of marriages that stand the test of time is because of the gentle, loving spirit of the woman. And so when a woman gets to the point where she gets resentful and rebellious to the point where she will refuse to cook, let's go way back, old school woman. That woman would say, okay, I don't have the meat. Let me look in the cupboard and see what I can find to cook.
That's old school. Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's a real woman.
Let's
old school means real woman.
Balance,
good woman.
When we balance it out now with the way young people think, because most young women say, I have my own money. You go on, I go on. Right? But in the presence of children, where does that take the marriage? Where does that take the relationship?
Most marriage is broken. Most marriage is broken, and most children is broken in marriages when children see they could take advantage of one of the parties, either the mother or the daddy. See, children try to play mother and daddy against one another, and children are good at doing that. But children, we don't pay attention.
Not only that, we may say children play, but children follow your lead.
Yes. Children
are little psychologists.
Yeah.
They watch your behavior, they watch her behavior, and then they determine what their behavior will be.
But if you ask most homosexuals, they will tell you they come from a home with mother and daddy, strong Christians or strong. So then you try to figure where they find this out from, where they get this from. And let me tell you what happened. Most time the home is be too strong.
Okay. Denise says that if a woman tells you she has a need and you ignore her and she finds someone else to fulfill that need, then there's a problem.
Well, that's what I talked about earlier. Remember, I talked about you have to be careful if you find a good woman. See, most times a good woman will tell you, they'll stop you in your tracks. A good woman will stop you in the tracks and they'll say, well, you know, what are you doing? It's not right. And I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to play quiet and be deceitful. I'm going to tell you, this here is not working. See, and they'll tell you, but when most times what women do, they suppress their emotional feelings. They suppress.
After a while.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. After a while. Yeah, because they feel like
you get tired. It's
you're
like
not opening up to me.
Beating your head against a brick wall.
And so once they start suppressing there,
then you know things are going.
Then a woman.
Yeah.
But
they always say, be happy when a woman is talking, because when she gets silent, then you need to know.
Yeah.
It all but over.
But it goes the same way. Be careful when a man talk, he don't do. Okay. The whole totally different.
So the man is quiet.
Yeah, but
when he talk,
oh, it's over. He done have something.
So
emotion.
how do we get a happy medium where the talking takes place at the right time, not after the fact or the stopping of the talking? Um, Again, a lot of
People,
people don't realize it, how important this idea of being friends with your partner goes. But that goes very deep
but
and long.
I like to go back to my story,
Mm-hmm.
to go back to my personal story. And the
Mm-hmm.
reason why, because I need the people on this need to understand a few things that I want to get out before.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell him my story. The reason I tell him my story, because my story is an interesting story. I tell you why it's so interesting. When I found out that my relationship was going to hell.
Mm-hmm. In the basket you always refer
Yeah,
to?
in the basket. And then when I find out it was going to hell, I seek
Professional help?
professional help.
Mm-hmm.
Now listen to what I'm saying. This man, not a woman, usually woman, this man reach out, and I call the names. I see my story, my life story. I don't mind telling this. I reach out to two pastors. The first pastor I reached out to was Neil Ellis. I tell you why. Because she attended Neil Ellis Church.
Mm-hmm.
Neil Ellis play me like a top.
Okay.
I'm not afraid. This is just I could say this.
Well, he's
but let me
if
finish.
it helps you, he's not the only one
Yeah.
who play people in
He
distress
played-
like tops.
He played me like a top.
Mm-hmm.
He says to me, he meet me in time when I went there. He had an appointment. He say, oh, he had to go on a flight. Then he make another appointment and start. Then he turned me on to his brother, Dalton Ellis. See, and I was playing like a top until something I did wrong that I realized I shouldn't have done wrong. I started to badmouth him. I started like to let
because you were distressed.
Yeah. So I started telling his members and this that he was not a real man, and I started to like
because you were frustrated.
Yeah. But here's this is why I want to tell my story. Here's the key in this. I didn't realize that God had it, that he was not the person to deal with it.
Okay.
So I went because, listen now, because he's this big old pastor with the big old suit and the big old church. So I thought you go to that's the head. So I thought that you go to the head. And in my marriage, I didn't realize that God didn't want me to go there.
Okay.
One day, I was walking Centerville, and I just saw this white man coming out of this car, and I saw the church, and I said, "Oh, you must see the pastor." I walk over there, I just walk over there and say, "Sir, you know the pastor of this church?" And he look at me, he say, "Why are you asking?" And I say, "I just want to talk to somebody because I have a relationship trying to help." And you know what he said? "I am the pastor." He said, "What is it?" And I say, "Yeah, I have a little marriage problem. I just need somebody to talk to because I feel like, a little hurt and I need some help." Pastor Lee, William Lee, whatever Lee was. I didn't know this man from man in the moon. And so he took me in. He said, I gotta go. He said, "But come inside." He talked to me for about 15 minutes. He said, I'm going to catch a flight. He said, "I'm going to preach and I coming back tomorrow." He said, "But tomorrow might be too hectic. I might get back in time." He said, "But," that was a Thursday. He said, "Friday morning, come early." Say, "Come early." Say, "Come 7:00. This man, when I pulled at 7:00, he was there. When he was doing the counseling with me, if he couldn't make it, he gave me Pastor Brennan. I never forget these people. See, I never forget these people. These people had helped me. Listen what I say. I did not know who was Pastor Lee. Okay. This white man. And here when I talk about good people, somehow God put this good man in my life. And so When I tell people, you got to go to good people. This is what I meant. I didn't want to say it earlier, but that's just what I meant when I say good people. And so, so in relationship, when you're having problems, you got to know where to go. Because some places you go, you're wasting your time. And in most times, relationship, you go to the right spot, the right place, and you ain't got to go to the pastor. You go to the right to find the right person who really care about you, who really care about your relationship, who really love you, who really love that what you going through that, and they got their arms around you. So in my marriage, I realized that I shouldn't even marry my wife
Okay.
because she was not a wife material.
But she was a beautiful woman. She made you laugh.
Beautiful, good looking,
And
sexy,
educated.
well dressed, all that has nothing to do with love and relationship. That's why you look at the pastor in the coat suit and all he's doing is big mouth talking. He has nothing. See, good people continue to be good. And guess what I learned from this whole thing? I never forget this. And that's why I won't share it. Don't, when you meet a Christian, humble, quiet, and understand, very understanding. Do not look at the man who making all the noise in the market. A Christian is righteous, disciplined,
humble,
niceness, all these things, humble. This. So in church, you're loving, and out of church,
the devil.
All right. And so I had learned this myself. Nobody, see, I went through this. See, nobody could tell me nothing. There's a lot of people talk the Christian talk or talk the what I say, the right people has nothing to do. That's their image. They're trying to live out their image, and that's what happened in a relationship. They bring their lifestyle to you, and you think because it's a professional and this that is right. That's where Bahamians go wrong.
So don't be fooled by
don't
image.
Be fooled by them. Don't be fooled by them. Don't be fooled by the looks and image and all that. Don't be fooled with them things. And that's why so much relationship broken up and on trouble today, because they look at this big picture and this rose, this pretty rose, and they don't understand that in the garden, in the soil, people who working with their hands, people in the soil, we look at them like they're nobody.
Look down on them, yeah.
Because they broke.
Yeah.
Look, but they are good people, just
virtue.
Waiting for somebody to just swap them up.
Yeah. So let's wrap up because our time. So let's look at some of the behaviors that we should be looking for. And that's before you get married.
One of the behavior
in your relationship.
One of the behavior to look for if somebody can't face you in your eye. That's the first thing. If somebody can't face you and talk you in the eye, run.
Mind you, you got some bold-faced liars that'll look you in your teeth.
But most time, if you can't consistently look me in the eye.
Consistently, that's it. Yes. Denise say, but when you men find a good Christian loving woman who will love you in totality, y'all think it's too good to be true.
Man, there needs so many your Christian women too boring, man.
End up losing out.
Yeah, but some of y'all be too Christian-y, too boring.
Settling for less.
too Christian-y.
But you see, that's where you get in trouble. You just say consistently humble, polite, loving, kind, gentle, all those niceties.
But they
consistently.
But you can't. You see, it's too good to be true.
But you know why?
I know.
And let me tell you something. another thing, Denise, is that the good women always seem to follow a trail of bad women. And so they done so damaged that they can't even look beyond anything other than what they already experienced. So you come with your goodness and they trample you.
Yeah. And so I consider myself a good man
Mm-hmm.
who tried to make my marriage work.
Okay.
And I went through the process, try my best to get my marriage on the right track.
Mm-hmm.
But my marriage, I discovered, is was not based on my true love and friendship. My marriage was based on I needed a man to have my children and let me hurry up, get him over it and done with. He could take it in and move on. And so, and how I know that, everybody, you'll ask me, but you know that because the woman said, let me tell you how I know it. I study after that. That made me run to study psychology. And it made me read a lot of books and research and research. And my conclusion, my own personal conclusion, that's what it was. It had because if somebody really loves you, they will work like hell to keep you. They will put their life on the line for you. If they really love you, genuine love you, and Denise and Laura and Denise, another Denise, all you all know because you all been married or still married. You all know the foolishness you all put up with because you all know that you are trying your best to keep your marriage. And that is when you know you're a good woman.
And Denise says, yes, indeed.
Mm. Well, she's
And
only
Denise is there.
she's on get married, and when she get married, that's my daughter I talking about.
Okay.
When she get married, I hope she will understand and listen and learn because you need to listen and learn how when you take a man, you just don't take a man because he's a man and I need a man.
Mm.
You take that man because you love that man. Because if you don't love that man, you with. I talking to my daughter now, straight up. If you don't love the man you with, leave now. That's how I feel. Do not play with people's minds because it's a serious thing. And folks, if I could talk straight up to my daughter here, I don't dodge bullet.
So don't dodge this one because Denise Winder McPhee wants to know. I take it, Mr. Williams, you have not yet found that good woman.
I found that good woman, but that good woman seems like they have some little um hang up, and one day I can try to straighten that out. And once I straighten it out, and I can tell you when I mean hang up, what I meant that we playing baseball. I hit the ball, you catch it, but you still at first base. Why you ain't drop the ball and run to second base? So that's what it is. She, she, she catch the ball. I want to catch it, but you got to go to the next base.
Man of parables,
Yeah.
anyhow.
Yeah.
So, have you finished listing all the
Oh.
behaviors then? Because we are
And-
like
And the behavior.
6 or 8 minutes.
I'm now gonna close. And behavior of women. Sometimes for me, and when I see women, it's like that first moment you see it, your soul on her, like that first moment.
That's men really are soul at the first moment.
Yeah, man. See, woman has to think and do all that foolishness, and women carry to this long game and all that. Man ain't like that, man. Whap. Now you might say he have a motive.
So
he got a motive.
So it seems as if I sure I can't make that comment though.
Go on, make a comment.
I think I was about to say something, but then I remember some of the previous statements that you made that kind of confused me on the issue.
Okay.
because men make a decision, right?
Mm-hmm.
When they see the woman, like you say, the woman is the one who
Mm-hmm.
run around
Oh yeah, she got
the
lost.
ballpark.
Yeah.
But is it so then that because you all make the decision so rapidly that you all are to be given the credit for all these failed marriages because you all don't do due process in
You want to be honest?
isolating and determining whether this woman have more than a good look?
You want me? Want to be honest?
Yeah.
Bahamian man lie a lot.
Okay.
And
they lie to themselves too.
Yeah, when we tell this lie, we tell this lie to big ourselves up. And we know we can't measure up, even in bed, even financially, even in relationship. We don't learn enough to take on a good woman. We only learn enough to take it in bed. See, we have this thing about sex. And so we'll know all the drill about sex.
That's the downfall.
Yeah. We don't learn enough to keep this woman.
So now you understand why women use sex as a weapon?
Yes, because
that's the only thing that gets your attention.
A good woman will bring a good man to be a king.
Knee.
To bring a king. Good women usually raise the level of men. You look at all the men around. All the men who's, we ain't talking about money. All the men who upright, upstanding,
and successful.
Look at the woman. Just look at the woman they have. Just look at the woman they have. You know what she does?
What?
She stay behind him. She pushed him, but she stay behind him. See, she don't come in front. She ain't gonna be all showy, you know. She push him, and she make him a man. She say, you know what? Yeah, you need $20 here. Put it in your pocket. She supports him. She push him to be the man.
So now you just brought me right back to the full circle of what I was saying in terms of men are the first to fall, women are the first to fall out.
Yeah.
But the woman is really the fuel that keeps that wheel
If
turning.
you see, you will see something.
And that's why.
You will see something?
Yeah.
You will see something? Ask all these women out here, watch this. They'll tell you, majority of men will never get home unless they have a good woman.
That's true. And so I want to end as we began.
Because we party and spend our money.
I want to end as we began.
Yeah.
And that is going back to the example of the man walking out the door after the woman asked for money to buy something to cook. It pays to be good. It pays to be considerate, because at the end of the day, the woman is definitely, most marriages that last is because of the character of the woman.
Most marriage, yes, I agree with that. Now, you know, I want to big your woman up like that, but I got to be honest. Most women who, how should I say, I don't use that word stare, who support her husband, they do well.
And the man do well, the woman do well, the children do well.
But the problem with men who have good women is when men started to be successful. That's where he goes. Yeah.
Their ego.
Because he's man, he started to stray away from the plan.
And mind you, all men have this look habit. They cannot see a nice looking woman without taking a second look. But there's nothing wrong.
Where are you going with this conversation?
There's nothing wrong with taking a second look. My nephew said to look is it don't cost you nothing to look. The problem is when you look and want to make a U-turn, that's where the problem rises.
Listen.
So
Let me.
So
We closing?
women who see their
You start
man,
this, you know.
women who see their man looking at someone else, don't start a fuss, don't start a fight. That's a natural
You start this.
thing.
See, you start this so I can finish this, then we close. Men have the eye of the hunter.
And the
Now,
head and the heart and the mouth and the mind.
either you want a gay man or you want a real man.
Okay.
And so I say that to say this. I believe most men will look, and most men in their mind will think that could be a good source of income.
Can I say to you, can I invite you, can
go
I
ahead.
invite you as we wrap up
Yeah.
to have a forum on what women should know about men to have a successful relationship?
I will do that next week. Let's do it
Thank
next week.
you.
What is
What
it?
women-
What woman has?
What all women should know about a man
Mm.
if she wants a successful relationship.
Well, if you leave a door, I believe all man has a tendency to step out in marriage.
Mhm.
Let me explain. But all men, somehow, the good men, we talk about good men now,
Mhm.
they value what they have.
Mhm.
And so what they think, boy, if I step out, somebody else jumping on my things, hell no. See, niggas ain't into that. If a man got sense, he ain't into that.
So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for joining us. We are actually 16
all the time.
Oh, yep,
So
past
anymore,
that time. So we thank you for your contribution, Denise, Anthony's, Laurel, Audrey, and all the other silent viewers.
all the other silent
We
people.
thank you for joining us from week to week. And next week, we definitely, what women need to know about men.
What women needs to know about men. She
in
ain't need
order
much.
to have a
She ain't need much.
successful.
She ain't need much. Man like woman. Man like sex.
Yeah, but
She ain't need
we
much.
need to understand the psyche of the male species.
Oh boy.
Thank
Have a
you
beautiful
again.
day.
Take
Enjoy.
care. Continue to stay safe.
And Denise, you on the beach, you could go on the beach now and enjoy it and enjoy that beautiful island. And you all enjoy, everybody. Take care. Next week, same time, same place, under the tree, Mel and Tony. That's where we meet. 4 o'clock every Saturday, right here in lovely Gambia, out here.
Take care.
Bye bye.